Hey folks, Didn't Know here. Today we're going over 10 tips to the medical system in DayZ. This video covers the best practices to keep your character healthy and avoid getting sick in the first place. Staying healthy. First off, straight to the point, keep your character healthy by keeping your food and water in the white. This will naturally boost your immunity to diseases. If your character is often in the yellow or red, then you're more likely to become sick, making surviving that much more difficult. If you've got food, eat it now. If you're already in the white, keep an extra can of food in your inventory, but there's no point in hoarding it. Vitamins. Another way to avoid becoming sick is to pop a vitamin if you've got them. You can also combine vitamins with other medication. For example, you can take a vitamin along with a tetra pill to cure an infection even faster. Disinfect rags. Speaking of wound infection, you'll want to have disinfected rags, as healing a cut with a dirty rag can lead to infection. There are 3 items that I now consider God tier, as you must have at least one of them on you at all times: alcohol tincture, disinfectant spray, or iodine tincture. Simply combine them with a dirty rag and you are good to go. Keep in mind, taking damage that results in damage to the rags or bandages in your inventory can take your rags back to being dirty again. In that case, you will need to disinfect them again. Cure wound infection. This leads us back to wound infection. Of all the nasty illnesses you can get in DayZ, this one is the most annoying and can stop an amazing run in its tracks. Wound infection has 2 stages, and to keep the symptoms simple, it's basically grunting and screen blur. Stage 1, you can apply a disinfectant directly to your cut by placing the item in your hand and selecting disinfect. If the option to disinfect is not available, then you either have a different sickness or your wound infection is in stage 2. Stage 2 wound infection is only cured with tetra pills taken 4 times. Combine the pills with vitamins for a quicker recovery. Keep in mind, those 4 pills cannot be taken all at once. You need to take one, wait for the pill effect to wear off, and then take another. Repeat until the disease goes away. Tetra is God tier. This leads us to another thing that I now consider truth in DayZ, is that tetra is a God tier item. Tetra will treat wound infection, cholera, and the common cold. 3 of the more common diseases to get in DayZ. With tetra, you have a solution, and the more healthy you are, the better you conserve food and water, and the more prepared you are for tricky situations. Broken legs. Speaking of tricky situations, there is not much trickier a situation than having broken legs. If a drop from a height seems questionable, don't take the risk, go ahead and take a safer route. You can cure a broken leg with sticks combined with rags, bandages, and now duct tape. If you are low on bandages, it might be a good idea to hold onto that random roll of duct tape you found. Don't forget, duct tape can also be used to craft improvised silencers by combining it with a water bottle. Wraps. Don't underestimate the usefulness of improvised wraps. Starting out, I almost always craft improvised hand wraps to protect myself from getting bloody hands that would otherwise lead to sickness. I also craft an improvised face mask to give my character a little more warmth and also protect against diseases such as the common cold that other players can spread to unprotected players. I also like to keep a pair of improvised foot wraps on me for stealthy situations. It's easy to swap shoes, and if you go ahead and swap to improvised foot wraps, it will quickly take you to the quietest sound level in the game. It's great for sneaking past zombies or setting up an ambush on an unsuspecting enemy. Protector case for meds. When you take damage, the items inside of the damaged clothing also take durability damage. There's that saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, if all of your bandages are in one place, you run the risk of ruining them all and not being able to bandage in a pinch. Spread out a couple extra bandages between clothing. Better yet, you can use an item such as a yellow protector case to keep a couple high value items in. In a perfect world, you could place inside a clean bandage, a saline bag with IV, tetra, and other life-saving items. Just be aware, it can be clunky to access the items inside the protector case, It's just a few clicks away, but seconds count when you're in the moment. EpiPen injectors. Make sure to keep these little yellow dudes on you whenever you can. Don't be afraid to pop them. They will give you infinite stamina for 1 minute. That's right, infinite stamina. That means you can run full sprint even if you're carrying a massive backpack filled with items. This is great for combat situations. Let's also say for some reason you have more epipens than you could ever use. Pop these epipens to run great distances across the map in record time. Oh, and of course you can also wake unconscious players with an epipen. Blast on over to the next video on the left and take your game knowledge to the next level. Subscribe to the channel and snipe the like button. Thank you and have an awesome day.